The silver glint of a surgical scalpel sliced through the air, flashing inches from my eyes. My breath hitched, lungs seized. The word on the street? I'm finished. Dead in the water. Why? Because I treated the newly returned heir of the Sinclair dynasty, Elian, like a common house servant. I remember the day I purged him from my life. I tossed his luggage onto the driveway of the Sinclair Estate like it was trash. My voice was ice. Know your place. I'm getting married. You're out. Game over. Thud. The muffled sound of my bodyguards hitting the floorboards downstairs. Elian stood in the bedroom doorway. His hands that wielded scalpels with godlike precision, were covered in fresh, jagged cuts. He stalked toward me, cornered me against the edge of the bed. I braced myself. I expected those cold, surgeon fingers to wrap around my throat, to squeeze the life out of me for the humiliation I put him through. But they didn't. Instead, his hands flew to his face, trembling, covering his weeping eyes. How could you? His voice cracked, raw, shattered by a grievance so deep it vibrated in the air. You used my body. You took everything. And then you just say you're bored? Chapter 1. The Sinclair family recovered their lost son 20 years later. For some reason, they kept it quiet. No press release, no gala. I treated it like tabloid fodder. Mildly amusing background noise, until Clementine shoved a phone in my face. The photo on the screen was grainy, but the subject was unmistakable. A man in a simple white tee and black slacks sitting in the Sinclair's gilded, gold-leafed ballroom. He looked stiff, uncomfortable, like a minimalist painting hanging in a Baroque museum. But that face, bone structure carved by angels. Even the shaky camera work couldn't ruin those features. Look, Clementine said, her manicured nail tapping the glass. My eyes don't lie. Even though you kept him hidden, and I've only seen him once or twice, that's him. The long-lost Sinclair heir is your little doctor, Elian. Who else could it be? He hated the bespoke suits I bought him, refused to wear them. He lived in his hospital scrub. That logo on his chest was practically a birthmark. I scanned the photo. When was this taken? Last week. Heard he already changed his legal ID back. Last week. The corner of my mouth twitched into a dry smile. I thought he just hadn't found the right time to tell me. Turns out, he never planned to. I flashed back to this morning. Him standing in the foyer. Cold, distant, beautiful, zero tells, no glitches in the matrix. I didn't panic. I didn't send someone to verify the intel. I didn't even text Elian. Compared to the 9-figure merger I was holding in the palm of my hand, this was static. Clementine swiped left. Next photo. A girl in a vintage Chanel miniskirt, hanging off Elian's arm, beaming like she won the lottery. I didn't even blink. Clementine retracted the phone. You know what the streets are saying about you? She pitched her voice low, mocking the high society gossip circle. Octavia Montgomery is toast. Even her dad has to bow to the Sinclairs. And she kept their prince as a pet? She's done. I took a sip of my drink. If they love talking so much, tell them to say it to my face. Clementine laughed, dramatic as always. My queen, messing with you is messing with the Montgomery group. Give them 10 times the guts, and they still wouldn't dare whisper a word in your presence. She winked, leaning in. But I heard you made him kneel in public to buckle your heels. Everyone saw. And now, the poor boy is a king. That's complicated. I swirled the wine in my glass. It tasted flat, watered down, intoxicating, but in all the wrong ways. Chapter 2. My eyes snapped open. The car was idling in front of the villa. I stared out the tinted window at the blazing lights of the house. Who authorized this detour? Frank gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. You've been staying at Mr. Elian's place recently. I assumed. I didn't let him finish. I shoved the door open and stepped out into the night air. I moved silently. My stilettos sank into the plush carpet of the foyer, muffling the sound of my arrival. But the moment the front door clicked shut behind me, the study door on the second floor opened. I didn't look up. I walked straight to the living room and collapsed onto the sofa. Elian was there in seconds. He didn't speak. He just knelt at my feet. His long fingers went to work, deftly unbuckling the straps of my heels. The lamp cast a sharp shadow across his face. He kept his eyes lowered.